So today I'm going to be talking about the Athanor. For those that don't know, or maybe don't have the Winds of Magic DLC, the Athanor is like the way, it's kind of the new way to like select talents, gear, properties, but only for the weaves. So you basically, if you want to change your weapon, you can go here. This is for Ironbreaker right now. You have the Great Hammer, the War Pick you see is not unlocked. So if you want to do that, you gotta forge it with this stuff called essence, basically, and it works like that. To get essence, you either complete weaves or you just complete normal maps. As long as you have this DLC, you'll get essence. You can upgrade your Athanor as well, and this just lets you pick more talents, more properties, stuff like that. So when you think about it, like, this is a much better system because you can just pick like anything you want. You can mix and match, you can do whatever. The current system now is so annoying. You have to like literally just re-roll and re-roll and re-roll, and it's actually quite annoying, and it's one of the biggest complaints about the game that people have been talking about, is that they just have to freaking keep rolling, and it's annoying because it can take up to 15-20 minutes sometimes to get what you want, if you're really unlucky. This should just be like the normal way to select properties and stuff. You should be able to have like power versus escape and power versus infantry, crit power. You should be able to mix and match and have whatever you want. You also have your traits here, all the ones that you would normally get, all the options from gear. Going back here for a second, yeah, you can just swap out any gear. You have to level it up. Obviously, you have this thing down here called weave power. The average power from your equipped weave forged weapons. It affects your damage dealt, the number of enemies penetrated by attacks, otherwise known as cleave, and your stagger level. So the max for this is 900. As you can see, I have it maxed out. Now when we're talking about properties, like what's good for weaves, you might be wondering. Weaves, it's a lot of beastmen, but it's also some like Skaven as well. So we'll just kind of cycle through a normal Ironbreaker build that I have here for this. So starting with the axe and shield, attack speed, 5% attack speed, and 30% block cost reduction. Off balance, this is exactly my normal build for the normal axe and shield that I use in the normal runs. Pretty much the same thing there. For my amulet, the talents, I go for Rock Breaker. Staggering gives you temporary health. I go for Blood of Grimnir. Each nearby ally increases power by 5%. Although I would swap this out if I was going in like a solo weave, because nobody's around you. I guess I'd swap it out for Crushing Counterblow. I've been liking Bulwark a lot recently. Enemies you stagger take 10% more damage from 2 attacks, and we all know shields stagger quite a bit, so this one's actually pretty good for Ironbreaker. Gromrail Curse, I've been using this one lately. When Gromrail is broken, everybody gets knocked back. It's kind of a useful little survival thing. It helps you escape, helps you kill things if you need to, but the cooldown for this is still 20 seconds if you do this. Miner's Rhythm, I like this one. After landing a charged attack, Barden recovers stamina 40% faster for 2 seconds. Another good one here is Dawi Defiance. 50% chance to get your stamina back when the guard's broken. And then down here, I just use Oiwazik. Impenetrable Taunt now forces monsters to attack Barden. So, pretty standard on the talents there a little bit. I think these two right here are different than what I used to use. So up here for properties, you kind of have like a lot of choices here. So you might be wondering, like, what do I use? Well, I've definitely got Power versus Chaos on here. and I like a little bit of attack speed for the shield and the axe. So that's pretty standard right there. Decanter, you know, this would be like what's on your charm, right? You got your decanter, you got your attack speed, powers chaos. You know, for something like Ironbreaker, I don't think he needs power versus Skaven, to be honest. Maybe power versus infantry, because he deals with those guys a lot. Power versus armored, I could see. I wouldn't go with power versus monsters. Maybe berserkers, I don't know. I just like chaos, because they have more health. Down here, this would be like your necklace, right? So you get your health. I always like max health and block cost reduction. He's Ironbreaker. He's gonna need that. You can swap out for like a little bit of block cost reduction and like 2 extra stamina, right? This is something you can't do in the normal part of the game. You can't like, you know, you can't have more than 2 properties on a necklace, right? That'd be kind of crazy. But in here, you can kind of mix and match. You can take away some health. You can do like, I don't know, you can do like some damage reduction if you really want. Like, you can kind of, so right now I've got like 4 different properties on here. You can take off another one. Damage reduction versus chaos, area damage, you know, whatever. You have like, you can have like 6 different properties on here. You can even add 8 if you want, 8 different ones. But for this, you know, I just go with the standard block cost reduction, health, bark skin, of course. I like bark skin for this guy. He's a tank, so you know you need that. But you know, you've got all your options here: healer's touch, hand of Shalia, boon of Shalia, and natural bond. Bark skin. Down here, this would be like your trinket, right? So I go for. You don't really need, I don't think you really need curse resistance for the weaves. There's the one kind of weave where like your health will slowly deteriorate over time until it gets super low, but I mean, you can just stand next to one of those blinking light things and you'll make it back. So I don't think you really need curse resistance. I go for stamina recovery. Makes sense. Some cooldown reduction because his ability cooldown's pretty long, and a little bit of movement speed. I don't really like movement speed, but I said fuck it, so it's on there for now. And then of course I have Shrapnel. Your options: Grenadier, rather, sorry. Explosive Ordnance, Shrapnel. You know, it's not too different from my normal build. I've also got my ranged weapon here. I just go for Skaven and Chaos, conservative shooter. There's very few ammo pickups in the weaves, so I like to just hang on as much ammo as possible. But yeah, I mean, there's not that much to say about the Athanor, other than it's actually pretty good. Like, this should just be what the normal game is, right? Like, you shouldn't have to re-roll everything all the time, waste a bunch of time, get bored. I mean, I've literally just like I've wanted to play a character, but I don't have the right gear for it, and I don't want to re-roll like 40 times to get the right stuff. So I've put off like playing characters. I'm sure other people do it too. But I mean, this is like one of the things about Winds of Magic that I actually kind of like. Like, this is cool. Like, this is a neat little system here. I wish it was part of the normal game. One of the things that, you know, people complain about all the time is that the re-rolling process just takes so long. Like, sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get it like on the first roll or the second, third roll. But I mean, a lot of this is just like why wouldn't you just make this part of the normal game? I don't know. You literally have every option here. You can just like mix and match. I really like that you can mix and match. You can and you have just like total control over it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the Athanor. Hit me up if you got any questions.